What are the key things you should do when starting your postgraduate degree, an MBA, a master's, or a PhD? Those first weeks are critical. They shape your rhythm, your results, and even your future opportunities. I'm Dr. Oksana Gerwe, Business School Insider and MBA Director at UCL, one of the top 10 universities in the world. I've just welcomed my MBA students to campus. We just had our introduction week, busy, energetic, fun, and now the real work begins. If you're a master's, an MBA, or a PhD student, you will now be walking into your first classes, meeting your professors, sitting next to strangers who will soon become colleagues and friends. So let's talk about how to make the most of these first weeks. Because what you do now will set the foundation for everything that follows. Here are some practical steps that can really help you. First, practice your introduction. You're going to introduce yourself a lot in these first weeks, sometimes 10 times a day. If you just wing it, you will miss opportunities. And if you prepare, you will stand out. I recommend having 3 versions ready. A short casual one for quick chats, one slightly more formal for networking events, and a longer one that explains your background, why you're here, and what you want to achieve. Practice these introductions out loud. A strong introduction will make people remember you, and that is exactly what you want to achieve. Second, speak up in class, especially if you are shy or even terrified. Raise your hand early. Nobody here knows you yet. They don't know you're shy, they don't know you're an introvert, they don't expect you to stay quiet. This is your chance to reinvent yourself. And what you say doesn't have to be perfect. It could be a question, a short reflection, or even a simple comment. The students who speak up early are remembered. Professors know their names, classmates pay attention to what you have to say, and by week 3, what felt terrifying will feel natural. So don't wait, just speak up. Third, pay attention to group dynamics. You're going to spend a lot of time in group projects, and those first meetings matter. In those first meetings, especially in the business school, everyone is trying to make a strong first impression. One of the simplest ways to shape the group dynamic is to be the first to speak. Because the first comment anchors the discussion, and it helps the group move forward. It doesn't mean that you have to dominate the conversation. All you need is to initiate the discussion, and people will remember who helped get things moving because it shows leadership. So try to be the first one to speak up in group conversations. Next, as you start your course, think about your social network. Think about your digital presence. For example, document your journey on LinkedIn. Most students don't do it, but it is such an easy and powerful thing to do to shape your personal brand. Once a week, share something that you've just learned, an insight from a class, a takeaway from a case, or even a challenge you're working through. This will build your personal brand, it will help you retain knowledge and expand your network. You don't need to be a content creator. 2 or 3 sentences, a photo on campus. If you start now, by graduation, you will have a visible track record of growth, which will come in really handy when you go to the job market. Recruiters do check out your social media before the interview, and you will have a great story there. Another tip when you first start your postgraduate studies is to build relationships early. Your degree isn't just about the curriculum, it's about the people. In the first few weeks, everyone is waiting for someone else to make the first move. Be that person. Suggest a study group, invite a classmate for a coffee, join or start a WhatsApp group, because you're not just making friends, you're building a support system and a professional network. Some of these people may become your business partners, even lifelong friends, and you will get a reputation as someone who helps others feel better. Another tip is to give yourself space to adjust. Starting a postgraduate degree is a big transition. You're getting used to being a student again, you're figuring out your university, you're meeting new people. Be kind to yourself. I always tell my MBA students to mark 6 weeks on their calendars from the first day of class. Those 6 weeks will feel like a roller coaster. So much is new and it can feel chaotic. But then, as if by miracle, you look up and you realize, wow, I'm settled. All of a sudden, you realize that you know what's going on, you found your rhythm. So in those first few weeks, don't panic. And finally, make time for reflection. The first weeks are intense. New subjects, new frameworks, new information. It is exciting, but it can be overwhelming. Build in moments of reflection. On your way home, at the end of the day, the end of the week, ask yourself, what surprised me today? What are my top 3 takeaways? What's still unclear? How can I follow up? Even a quick note on your phone will make a difference. Reflection clears mental fog, deepens your learning, and helps you see your own growth week by week. These are simple steps, but if you do them consistently, they will transform your experience. If you find this useful, give this video a like, subscribe for more insider tips, and share it with someone who is just starting their postgraduate journey. And tell me in the comments, what's been your biggest challenge in these first weeks? I'm Dr. Oksana Gerwe, Business School Insider and MBA Director at UCL. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.